Welcome all of you in SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. I am Assistant Professor Sangamitra Benkhare. Today we are learning Introduction to Photography, Class SY BMMC, Semester 3, Module number 2, and today's our topic is lens and types of lenses. The photography is very creative subject. Photography is a mixture of art and science. The word photo means a light and a graph means to record. Hence, the meaning of photography is writing with a light. The camera is an electronic and mechanical device with the help of which we are creating most beautiful pictures. The camera has mainly three controls, that is lens, shutter and aperture. Today we are learning about the lens. The lens is a most important part of a camera. It forms a real and sharp image of the object to be photographed. A camera lens is made from a good optical glass. A camera is fitted with a convex type of lens. Characteristics of the lens or main features of the lens, that is a focal length, angle of view and speed of the lens. Focal length. The distance between the focus point and optical center of the lens is called the focal length of that lens. The focal length of a camera is usually mentioned in mm on the front of the lens. The focal length remains fixed for a given lens rather than a zoom lens. Angle of view, Drushya Kod. The angle through whom the scene is recorded on the film or a sensor. The angle of view varies with the focal length. Smaller the focal length, wider the angle of view and vice versa. The angle of view is measured diagonally. This picture shows you the angle of view and the field of view. In first camera, the angle of view is short and the focal length is greater. In second lens, the angle of view and the field of view is wide and the focal length is short. The speed of the lens. Highest light transmitting power of a lens is called the speed of the lens. Smaller the f number, faster the lens. Fast lens makes the photography possible in a low light conditions. Lens speed is marked on the front of the lens, that is 1:1.4, 1:5.6, 1:1.8, etc. The main types of lens. The lens are divided into three types, that is normal lens, wide angle lens and telelens. Normal lens in between 45 to 55 mm, telelens above 70 mm, super telelenses above 600 mm, wide angle lenses below 35 mm, extra wide angle lens below 18 mm and fisheye lenses below 12 mm. Normal lens. What do you mean by a normal lens is also called a standard lens also. Why it is a standard lens? Let's see. A lens on a camera which records a view similar to the view seen by a normal human eye is called a normal lens. A normal lens gives a perspective similar to the impression recorded by a normal human eye. The angle of view of a normal lens on a 35 mm camera measures 46 degrees, which is similar to the angle of view of a human eye. Used to capture portraits. It is also great for shooting a still life subjects like statues, food, etc. in a available light. Normal lens is also good for pose portraits. This picture shows you a beautiful candid picture pose portrait, like that is, it shows the beautiful bouquets, and the round of the bouquets also looks beautiful. Wide angle lens. The wide angle lens, also called the short focus lens. A lens having a focal length shorter than a normal lens is called a wide angle lens or a short focus lens. Lenses with a focal length 35 mm, 28 mm, 24 mm, 20 mm, 16 mm, 12 mm, 8 mm, 6 mm are called a wide angle lenses, and they cover a wide view. Shorter the focal length, wider the angle of view and more distortion. 35 mm and 28 mm are generally known as moderate wide angle lens. They are frequently used. 6 mm to 12 mm lenses are known as a super wide angle lens or a fisheye lenses, which gives a dramatic distortions. Now the uses of wide angle lens: to cover a wide views, interiors and exteriors of the building, journalism, monuments and architectures, landscapes, events, stage coverage, wedding parties and ceremonies, creative shots to create a distort effect. This picture shows you some examples, that is interiors, beautiful interior pictures of a big museum. Journalistic view. The most of the press photographer like the wide angle lens because these lenses are covering the wider view, and these people always prefer a wide angle lens. Landscape. The landscapes are also beautiful scenic pictures. The wide angle lens are mostly used to cover the wide shots or the beauty of the nature, the scenic shots of the nature. It gives also a wide views. This picture shows a fisheye lens. It looks a distort. Telephoto lens. A telephoto or a long photo lens. The lens with a focal length longer than a normal lens is called a telephoto or a long focus lens. It is a narrow angle of view and gives a telescopic effect, hence the name telephoto lens. The perspective is shallow, that is, relative distance between the object appears to be compressed. The longer the focal length, narrow the angle of view. and more telescopic effect. 70 mm to 135 mm lenses are known as moderate tele lenses and may be used for indoors also. These are the examples of a tele lens or a super tele lenses. Most of the bird photographers and the wildlife photographers are using this tele lens or super tele lens as the birds and the animals are very far. That's why to capture these movements and the wildlife photographers are using this tele lens. The birds are very shy because the normal lens we cannot go or shoot to close shots. That's why we are using the tele lens. In sports photography also, the tele lens are frequently using. The sports photographer are using mostly super tele lenses. In short, let us see in this picture, the 18 mm lens give us the wide view, 24 mm, 35 mm, 55 mm, 85 mm, 105 mm, 135 mm, 200 mm and 300 mm. In first picture 18 mm, we are watching this is the wide view, and in the last picture 300 mm we are watching only the house. This is the difference, that is 18 mm gives us a wider view and 300 mm gives us a closer view. This is the difference between the lenses. Thank you.